Solomon was providing nuggets of wisdom that I believe every single human being needs to grasp, because it's going to affect some part of your life. And one thing I love about the Proverbs is that they're so real and practical. We're actually taking the time to go through this first chapter of Proverbs and look at what Solomon was actually dealing with and what he was talking to us about and how it affects our lives in very specific ways. Some of the worst acts of sharing, here's the other side of that, have been the things we did to ourselves. Choices that we regret, poor decisions, irrational thinking. When I mention some very serious ones, like date rape, this is not the one who was raped, the aggressor. If you had an abortion, or you assaulted someone, or you molested someone, or you seduced another person, especially in the college years, in your 20-something years, people who pulled pranks, or hazing, or vandalism. I'm talking about the people who did it. Did you know that the people who did the acts are damaged too? The ones who did it are damaged. So you got the victims who have been hurt, they've been broken, defaced, but you also have the ones who did it. And they are damaged too. And that's a lot of them, they suffer with tremendous pressure of sharing. What's the sharing that's happened on their life? They're shame. They're at absolute shame. Even some of the ones who still walking around, they act like, I don't care what I did. No. Sharing handicaps our ability and willingness to go through the many seasons and transitions of life. When you've been shared, it does bring some level of being handicapped or really it's tough for you to be willing to go through anything else. So when you hear the sermons and the messages about going through and suffering for them, like, look, I ain't been through enough already in my life. Now you're talking about suffering for Jesus? You think I haven't already suffered enough? That's the reason why they struggle sometimes when they're sitting in our services and they hear our messages and our sermons about being committed and suffering and all of that. It's not that they're unwilling to suffer for the Lord, but it brings about a handicapping. It's like, you're talking about going through something else? Well, the only thing I can think of is what I've already been through. And you mean I'm supposed to be willing to go through that again? Being for real. That's really what it's like for many people.